Live on YouTube.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to this week's Evergreen Marketing Live and our coaching call. We're talking about testimonials today. Super excited to nerd out on this topic with you guys. This is a topic that's like, I feel like is just like, this is the everyday thing for us as
Yep.
marketers. It's more common sense, and we love talking about it. Maybe it's not super sexy to you, but it really, really stinking matters. And yeah, so we're gonna be diving into that today. But Trevor, what's new in your world right now?
Dude, what's new? So we've got our Epic Intensive in a few weeks.
Yeah.
So about a year
sounds
ago.
intense. If I don't have content,
It's
what is it?
epic and
Intensive.
intensive. Yeah, it is, dude. So actually, I didn't hit live over here. Let me hit this. I'm gonna go live now, y'all, on IG at the same time. We'll see. Hopefully, it doesn't break our internet.
We're gonna go live on. We're live on Vine.
Everything.
We're live on X.
That's right. I love it. So welcome everybody from the IG side of things. We're actually streaming live to YouTube right now and to Facebook for our weekly Evergreen Marketing show. So you guys are going to get the behind the scenes here. But dude, yeah, we have the intensive coming up, and we work with about 30 or so of our higher level members at Carrot that do between 300,000 about 12 million a year in revenue. And twice a year we get together in person. This is in Louisville, Kentucky. So we get a chance to be there with guys like Bo Hollis and JP Pirtle, who runs an 8-figure company in this space. And so many of our amazing ballers that are in that program. Yeah, Eric and his team, where they're doing 25 to 30 deals a month. We get to visit their office. So that's kind of what's on my brain the last couple of days, is wrapping up the final tidbits of that event to make it amazing. And yeah, dude, just rounding out summer. Kids started school this week.
Life is ramping back up. Everybody's ramping back up right now. I feel like summer's been chill, and now everything in life all just hits at once. Like back to school, sports, everything's ramping back up.
Exactly. And yeah, to kind of close this loop in my noggin, because I have people hit me up on it all the time. If anyone is interested in that high level group, it's the group where we here at Carrot help shepherd you through the growth path, right? Through those pain lines, through those parts in your journey where you hit those challenges. You're like, oh my gosh, I'm stuck at $500,000 a year and I'm trying to delegate and it's hard, or I'm trying to grow and it's hard. What do I do? That's exactly what this group is. So check it out, carrot.com/epic. Go hop on a call with Brent on our team, learn about what it is, see if it's a fit. And if so, amazing.
Sweet. Awesome. Well, without further ado, let's get into the podcast. If you guys have any questions on testimonials, anything Carrot related, put them in the comments. And yeah, let's get into the episode here. Hey, everybody, if you're losing deals to competition, testimonials are probably playing a large part in this problem. So today we're talking about how to get really authentic, juicy testimonials, not boring ones, in an easy way, because you probably think it's more complicated than it actually is. And we're going to do it in a way that leads to more trust and more closed deals. So we're going to tell you how to get them, what to say, exactly what specific questions you should be asking your clients, and how to leverage them on your site. Where do they go online? What do I do with these things? So hopefully you walk away today with a repeatable process that's going to help you close more deals. So that's the goal today. I'm really excited to dive into this. Testimonials are we can't understate the importance of them. Real quick before we get into it, though, I wanted to give you guys an update on the Google algorithm update. An update on an update.
This kind of data is cool, man. So like that's one of the things I enjoy the most, Brady, is we've been saying this for over a decade, right? We say data first, no hype. And we go, let's lead with the data. And so if you guys are ever curious, what is working the best to do something, just come to us. We'll give you data at scale. And we got some cool data to share with you.
Yeah. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think happened with across the board with Google rankings with this update. Was it good or bad? Did it go up or down? Let me know, because we're rolling the dice on this. Like we're a website company that does SEO or is heavily involved in SEO, and we're saying here's what happened with the Google algorithm update. It could be bad or it could be good. Okay, here's what happened. Here's the high level bullet points. So prior to the update, so we keep track, our team keeps track of a bunch of different keywords across our industry that people are going into Google, typing in every day. We track these keywords across our platform and across our thousands of members to see what happens. So prior to the update, we had 1,850 search phrases ranked in the number one position across the Carrot platform. After the update, that went to 2,260 phrases ranked in the number one position. So we went from 1,800 number one spots, or keywords for number one spots, to 2,200. So that's the largest growth in top ranked phrases we've seen in an algorithm update ever. So basically saying this is the best algorithm update we've seen in the history of
Mhm.
Carrot. So it helped members across the board.
And that's a huge number, dude,
It
right?
is
I mean, we're
huge.
talking, I mean, there's 300 and something true kind of MSAs or real markets in America.
Yeah.
So what we're saying is this is for house seller phrases specifically, correct?
Yeah.
Or is it for all? Yeah, this is just house seller phrases. This doesn't include all the buyer sites or all these other phrases where that's probably thousands more potentially, or hundreds more at least.
Right.
But it's like for the best home seller phrases, the most motivated, the best leads you can find across the 300 plus MSAs. Our clients own over 1,000 of the number one results, which is a huge percentage of that. So if anyone's ever
Yeah.
wondering, does the platform perform? Does the platform outperform the data? You just got to look at the data. Don't look at
Yeah.
the hype.
Here's another interesting point. So this kind of speaks to like the stability of Carrot sites. The average improvement, we saw an average improvement of 0.84 of a spot. So it's basically almost one entire search result jump in rankings over the course of the update. And so for context, we usually see something closer to like 0.05 to zero point 0.1, like a tenth of
Yeah.
a ranking, which you think, okay, Brady, why are you even telling me this is negligible?
Mm.
That's a pretty good thing because a lot of times with Google algorithm updates, it can be really scary. So there's been
Yeah.
updates that have really impacted specific industries like a recipe websites or
Yep.
affiliate marketing or things like that,
Mhm.
where it's not as stable. But it's a win just to have things not change overall.
Yeah.
It's an even bigger win to see an increase in
A net
rankings.
increase, which is huge,
Yeah.
man.
So you don't
Because
have to
yeah,
worry
some
about, oh, I'm
sites
not
will go
showing up
down.
anymore. Yeah.
Exactly. And some sites will go down because we're looking at 10,000 plus websites, right? We're not looking
Yeah.
at a couple dozen or a couple hundred. And so across the 10,000 plus websites, seeing a net gain like that's huge. It shows that platform wide and strategy wide, things at scale are working, which is pretty
Yeah.
exciting.
So, last thing I'll leave you with, we're leaving the update with more search phrases in each of the top 10 spots than we entered with. So, across the board, this was a good thing for most Carrot members. So, exciting news. All right, let's
Heck
get into
yeah.
it. So, testimonials. We're gonna cover a few things. We're gonna talk about why you need them. We're gonna talk about the importance, just real briefly, when and where to get them, what questions to ask, where do you put them, and how many do I need? The magic questions. Trevor, you want to kick us off? Talk about the importance of, why testimonials?
Yeah, so there's a lot of reasons why. The first one I'll kind of give like a little personal anecdote that I think we can all relate to. So let's say number one, I heard this one 15 years ago. You're driving down the street and you want to eat. You're hungry, right? You have a problem. You're trying to solve it. There's two restaurants. They're directly across the street from each other. The buildings look kind of similar. The signs look kind of similar. They're both food that you would like to eat. One of them looks like it's decently busy, but there's still room for you to get in there and get a table. You don't have to wait for an hour. The other one, it's crickets, right? There's no one in the restaurant. It's on. You can clearly see that they're open, or maybe there's one person in there. Which one are you probably going to go into? Right? We're probably going to go to the one that goes, they're right across the street. That one's probably better. I saw this dynamic in person in San Diego. We were looking for taco shops there in Pacific Beach. And this one, I think it's called Gordon's or something with the G. It's got a blue awning out front, amazing reviews and ratings. And we went there for lunch, and it's a line out the door. I'm talking like we had to wait 30 minutes to get up there to order our tacos.
Yeah.
Directly across the street, I'm talking, I could have bowled a bowling ball to their front door. Like, it was another taco shop right there. There were maybe 2 or 3 people out front. If we hadn't done the research and checked out the reviews online about Gordon's or whatever it was called, we would have still went, that one looks like it must be amazing because people are waiting in line for these tacos. We probably would have got a decent taco across the street. We
Yeah.
would have went there if we were starving and we had no time.
Yeah.
But reviews. Number 2, you go to Amazon. Who has ever ordered a product on Amazon with no reviews or with 1 or 2? almost always we look at that one that has one or two and go, that's probably fake. Like the people who made the product
Yeah.
probably put it on
Is it going
there.
to show up?
Yeah. And so we have this threshold mentally in our brains of what do we need to be able to grow trust and believe that this company or this product is legitimate.
Yeah.
And it's probably above one person saying it's good, but probably below having to have like hundreds.
Yeah.
Right. So they're crazy important. And if we look at the data, so we have some data inside of our internal high performance website playbook. And there's studies that have been done that really ask the question, well, what if there's no proof, or it's called social proof kind of in the marketing circles, right? What if there's no proof or reviews on the website at all? How does that adjust performance versus some proof, right? They've got some logos of businesses, or a little bit better, they're high profile logos, or a little bit better, there's press mentions with logos, or even a little bit better, there's testimonials without photos, then the best testimonials with photos or video, right? And when you start at the bottom, it was I'm looking at the data, 3 times more effective that page was when it had a testimonial with a photo or video versus no proof at all. 3 times more effective.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah. It's a necessity.
It's you have to have reviews and testimonials to get the best performance.
Yeah.
Yep. So at stock out of the gates with Carrot, we give you the spots to put them, and we have a lot of training to help you learn how to create them. We're going to create an amazing training here for you guys on that today. But then it is your job to go, okay, now how do I step in and beef this up with some good reviews?
Absolutely. So, bar none, it's a necessity. And then we'll go through like the ideal scenarios, what testimonials you want to get, but absolutely you have to have reviews on your website, period, even if they're simple or they're not pretty. So let's talk about when and where to get the testimonials. At closing is easy. You're already there. You're already meeting the person. A couple ideas for this is, ideally you want a video testimonial. So pull out your iPhone, put it in selfie mode, and ask them some questions, which we'll go over in a second. But you want to get a video testimonial if you can. It's always going to be the most powerful. And at least a Google review and a Facebook review as a bonus. But Google makes this like, they make it foolproof. They give you the link. I can just Google, care.com, Google review, whatever. Go to your Google business profile. And if you go like you're leaving a review, you don't even have to sign into the back end of your thing. Just go like you're leaving a review, copy that URL, and just keep it with you. So you can pull out your phone, your iPad, pull it up for someone, just hand them your phone and say, hey, would you mind leaving us a review after they've done the video? So they've kind of already spoken through it.
Dude, one trick I've seen, not a trick, but an amazing strategy is since COVID, one of the cool things on marketing is QR codes actually became useful during COVID. So before then,
I thought they were going to die. They didn't. They came back.
Because you had to get an app for them, but now it's all built natively into these phones. And so I've seen businesses now, they just create a QR code, and you can go to Google and type QR code creator and put in the URL that is like go to Google, type up your company name, and bring up your Google My Business profile. Click the thing that says review, and it's going to pop up the review thing to add a review. Okay, now go grab that URL from Google. That's actually the page to add a review. Take that, put it into the QR code creator, and then put that on your whatever. Put that on your mailing piece. Put that on your whatever you're doing, have that in front of the person so they can just scan it and go, yep, just scan that thing, and it pops everything up, makes it easier.
Yeah. I got a tip to add on to the tip, which I put this in the newsletter a couple weeks ago, which if you're a member or you're not a member and you're not getting the newsletter, go to carrot.com/blog, go to our website and put in your email, get the newsletter. I recap the podcast, put a lot of really easy to digest marketing tips in the newsletter every other week. I think it's good stuff, but
it's good, man. It's good.
Thanks.
It is.
So Google Chrome started doing this thing recently. I saw it by accident. If you just right click anywhere on a page within Chrome, you can create a QR code.
Oh, there we go.
They just quietly added that. You just right click and then create QR code from this website.
Dude, even easier.
Create QR code for this page.
Oh, that was fast. And it's got a little dinosaur on it.
I know. It's got a dinosaur. What more can you ask for?
Way better tip, man. Yeah, leave the QR code creators gone unless you don't want a dinosaur. Yeah, you can put your own branding on some of the other ones there, but that was crazy quick.
Yeah, like what's the Bitly? Bitly has a QR creator thing. You could like put a little carrot inside the QR code or whatever.
Exactly.
If that's worth $100 a year to you.
Yep.
Okay, so get a video at closing. Have an iPad or phone ready to give a review. Type it for them. If they want to talk through it, type it for them. Make it. The thing is, make it as low resistance, as low friction as possible. If they want to talk through it, just hit voice type and just let them talk. Maybe they're slow typing, or they don't want to type on your phone.
Yeah.
Just make it easy. Okay. So that's when to get them at closing. And then also, if you can't get it there, send a follow-up email a few days
Yep.
later. A
Yep.
lot of our members do this, to send a quick little email, say, hey, what was it like working with
Mhm.
us? Would you mind leaving me a quick review? Here's a link to
Yeah.
Google. Here's a link to Facebook. A lot of people don't even incentivize people.
Yep.
A lot of our members don't incentivize their customers because they
Mhm.
typically don't need to. But if
Yeah.
you want, be like, hey, here's I'll send you a gift card.
Yep,
Something. I'll send you an Amazon
exactly.
gift card.
And we've got some scripts that we'll kind of share with you guys, especially in the after hours of the podcast. So if you guys are listening to this on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, just recognize in our Facebook group, which is community.carrot.com, we do kind of an after hours where it's full blown video. We're going to share with you things. We'll share more scripts in there for how to ask for reviews. But I'll give you a simple one here. We have a whole script sheet for it. Okay, so you could send a text message. You could send this as an email, and I'll just read through one that you could send out as a text or email, and then we'll talk about one like, what do you say in person?
Yeah.
Because that's where people get stuck, and that's where we're going to talk about how to create quality reviews. The biggest challenge I see with reviews is people just think, oh my gosh, I just got to get reviews. So they just think about volume, and they're not formatted correctly. They're not put in the right spots. They're not quality. We're going to show you how to get amazingly quality ones. Okay.
Yeah.
So here's an example. You could text this or email it. So hey seller, hey John, just quick note. Say thank you for working with us to sell your house. We hope you had an amazing experience with us. If you're up for it, we'd love to hear your thoughts on how we did and what we can make better. And if you loved what we did, and this would help others make a strong decision too, just click a link below and leave us a review on Google. That'll really help others like you to make a strong confident decision to sell their house. So something like that. You could do a
Yeah.
voice note. You could do an email with that. Give them the link.
That part is key. That motivation about
Yeah.
it'll help others like you. I do the same thing when I'm like sharing up our podcast with people. Like,
Yeah.
hey, it's really going to help people get value out of this.
Exactly. And that's a key, right? Because what most of us do when we're asking for reviews, so now I'll go through like, what do you say in person, is we try to make it all about us. If you want to start asking for reviews, stop asking for reviews, right? And I know that sounds weird, but we try to make it all about us. We say, hey, I need help. We just helped you with this thing. I'm going to make you feel obligated now kind of to give us this review or this testimonial. And people just kind of feel weird when that happens. We want people to feel excited to give that. And when we can make it not about us and we can make it about them serving other people who have similar challenges, then all of a sudden it's like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. When I was on your website, I saw that, and that did help me make a decision. And it helped me avoid this other thing over here where this other wholesaler or flipper or agent didn't do the job. Heck yeah, I'll leave a review so other people can make a good decision.
Yeah, it might sound something like, "Hey, it sounds like you've had a really good experience with us. Sounds like you really liked working with us.
Mm-hmm.
There's other people out there that want to work with us, but they don't quite understand what we do or how we can
Yep.
help them. Would you mind if I got a little video of you kind of explaining your experience, just
Mm-hmm.
so that we can help other people,
Yep.
that might be considering working with us?"
Exactly.
I didn't say I or testimonial anywhere in there.
Yeah, don't use the word testimonial, because I people put on their testimonial face as soon as you say, can I get a testimonial?
Yeah, and they fix their posture. They
Yeah.
go, "Oh."
And unless you're a marketer or someone who's used to being on video, which most of our clients aren't, right? Especially most clients that are selling their house, they're not used to staying in video. So what do? They clam up and they go, yeah, Mark was great to work with, and I definitely recommend working with him again. I highly recommend him.
I'm gonna record that,
Yeah,
steal
it's
it
like
from my website.
it's a brutal testimonial. Okay, so we're going to
Yeah.
talk here in a bit about what do you get in them. So if you think about a testimonial, and I'm going to buzz through this, join us in the after hours where we'll break it apart in more detail. But if you want to get an amazing testimonial, stop thinking about getting a testimonial and start thinking about, I want to document the journey that they had with me to solve their problem.
Yeah.
Okay, so number one, what was their challenge or motivation?
Mhm.
You want them to talk about what problem they were having. Hey, I was getting foreclosed upon, or I inherited this house from my uncle and we didn't know what to do with it. Okay. Number two is I want them to tell us what options they actually looked at. I want them to tell in a testimonial, I looked at 3 other investors and an agent, because then it shows that they did some research, right? If they didn't look at any other options, great. Hey, I didn't look at any other options because once we started talking, I just knew I had the right one. Amazing. That's great too.
Yeah.
So number one, what was their challenge or motivation? Number two, how are they looking at trying to solve it? What other options did they look at?
Mhm.
Number three, why did they end up choosing us then? Okay, we need to figure out why they chose us over those options, because if they can articulate that, that same message is going through the mind of every other seller or buyer or tenant or HVAC client that you're trying to work with. You
Yeah.
want them to go through that same journey of choosing to work with you. And if someone who did choose to work with you and they had a great experience talks about how they made the decision, it makes it way easier for that next prospect.
Mm.
Okay. And then number 4, then I want to talk about how you actually solved the problem for me.
Yeah.
Like, what was my final result? So number 1, what was my challenge or motivation? Number 2, what options did you look at before working with us? Number 3, why'd you end up choosing us?
Yeah.
Right? What was the thing that kind of pushed it over the edge? Number 4, did we solve your problem? How did we solve your problem? Kind of what are things like now?
Mhm.
So if Brady is sitting across the table from me, I'm gonna go, John, man, it was great working with you. I know we know your situation, but we do talk with a lot of people who inherit homes. They don't know what to do with them either. So let's just kind of walk through this really quick. And if you wouldn't mind, could I just capture your story of how you solved this problem and where we were in that, so we can share that with other people going through similar situations? So, hey, John, just introduce yourself. Let us know kind of where you are, what city are we in, and then just say what problem you went through. Hey, I'm John from Fort Myers, Florida, and I inherited a house from my uncle, and I didn't know what to do with the house. Now you can ask a couple follow up
Mhm.
questions if you want. Okay, you can say, "Hey, so John, did you live out of state, or yeah, I know you had multiple siblings in it. What were some of the challenges you were having with that?" Just record it all. You can always cut the video later if you want, or capture the testimonials and go, "Cool, awesome." So, John, what other options did you look at before working with us? Were there other agents or investors? Yeah, I looked at some other options I looked at were da 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 da. He'll talk about it, just let him go and go, great. So ultimately, John, what was most important for you that needed to be solved, and why did you end up working with us on
Mhm.
this?
Yeah.
Well, those other guys, it just seemed like they were fly by night and they weren't answering the phone, or you were just really upfront and da 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 da, and you made a really fair offer. Okay, amazing. So now that everything's all said and done and it's the problem solved, how did we solve that problem for you? What are things like now, and are you happy with it?
Yeah.
I'm not leading them at all.
Right.
I'm not saying, I know you're happy with the transaction, tell me about it. It's like, no, how was it solved, and are you happy with it?
Yeah.
Just have them answer it and go, amazing, John. If someone's in your shoes and they were looking at working with us versus some of the other alternatives that you looked at as well, what would you tell them?
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, I would tell them, don't hesitate. Start with them. Don't waste your time working with the other people. Amazing, John. Appreciate you big time. I've got this here. If you wouldn't mind, it'd be a huge help for us helping more people like you. Just scan this. Could you just kind of put a paraphrased version of what you just said in that Google review?
Yeah.
I'd be happy to.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Awesome.
It's
Thanks.
easy. It's easy,
Yep.
man. It's conversational. That's the key. It's
Hmm.
conversational, and like you said, you're walking them through a story arc.
Yep.
Okay.
That's the key. Number 1, challenge or their motivation. Number 2, what options they look at. Number 3, why do they choose you versus the other options. Number 4, how was your problem solved, and how do they feel now?
Yeah. And the other thing to remember is like there's not these are the core questions don't really change. You need to
Hmm.
have this story arc, but like put your own flavor on it, put your own spin on it. And
Yep.
so when I'm doing this, like by the end of the closing, hopefully you're a little bit more buddy buddy with someone,
Yep.
and there's a little bit of a relationship there, hopefully. And so me personally, I like to be a little bit tongue in cheek about it. I say,
Yeah.
hey, I'm going to assume that we did a really good job. You seem pretty happy.
Hmm.
Um, I like to sometimes ask the question, like, how's your life better from working with us? Like,
Yeah.
I'm going to assume we made your life better, just be
Hmm.
kind of silly about it. How's your life better from working with us? Because then you really get to the heart of it. It's like,
Yep.
oh my gosh, I'm not stressed out anymore. I
Exactly.
don't have to deal with XYZ anymore.
Hmm. Yeah.
Another one I like to throw in is, and you might have mentioned this. What would you say to someone considering working with us?
Yeah.
What would you say to someone on the fence with working with us?
Yep.
And 9 times out of 10, they're going to, oh my gosh, absolutely
Yep.
recommend. Yeah, don't pick anyone else. Yada yada yada.
And those questions help to get a level or two deeper. So we're gonna talk about some real examples where to put them. We'll transition to that next. But the problem with most testimonials or reviews, like I said, they are surface level.
Yep.
I liked working with Brady. He was good. That just gives me the basic warm and fuzzies that Brady's not an axe
He had a
murderer.
good beard.
Yeah, exactly right.
Things like that.
What we really need to do, y'all, and this is where we're going to transition, is your testimonials or reviews have one purpose and one purpose only: to build trust and have people feel good that you can solve their problem. In order to do that, we have to get inside of their mind and ask, well, what are their problems, and what objections may they have that we need to get over before they choose to work with us?
Yep.
And the objections for a house seller, as an example, are probably pretty universal. It's number one, are they going to follow through with this and actually close on it? Because a lot of people don't close on the transaction. So if you do close at a high rate, you have an advantage. Number two is price. Are they going to offer me fair price, or are they going to lowball me? So we need to eliminate that objection through our reviews. Okay. Number three is ease. Is it actually simple to do, and do they communicate well, right? And
Mhm.
then number four kind of really depends. Those are the top three biggies for sure. But number four can kind of depend based on your market. But if you just lock in those three and you're like, I'm going to write down the biggest objections or the common objections that people have
Mhm.
when I'm talking with them in my business. If you're in HVAC, what are the objections? I mean, we're literally dealing with this right now because we had one of our HVAC systems go out yesterday. So my wife calls. She says, "Who do I call?" I go, "Well, call this company because they're a client of ours, and we had them put in some new systems next door a month ago," and she did. And then they did the work. But the thing that I think a lot of people are nervous on anything like a plumber, electrician, or HVAC is like, are they going to rip me off? Are they going to come in and say that this thing needs to be fixed and it really doesn't? Because I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
So I need to trust and know that they are going to be honest
Yeah.
about
Are
this
they
and
going to be
not just try to
transparent?
upsell me.
Yeah.
So I want to have testimonials that say things like that. Hey, Mark even told me. I'll give you a real scenario. In that same building 2 years ago, we had an issue happen. I
Mhm.
called one HVAC company. They came over, said it needs replaced,
Yep.
$25,000 replacement.
Yeah.
I go, wow, I need a second opinion. I called a second one in. They came in. They were there for 15 minutes. They plugged something in. They said it's working. I go, wow, so no replacement? He goes, no, the thing was just dangling, and I plugged it in and it's working.
Yeah.
85 bucks. I want that testimony on my site. Hey, I called up blank company, and they're actually the second company. I called the first one, said it needed to be replaced for $25,000. They came, $85. They fixed it. I just really trust them. I'll work with them forever.
That's the testimonial that'll convert people all day
Exactly.
long. And that's the one that Google's algorithm is usually good enough to detect which reviews are just really juicy and really authentic and
Hmm.
specific like that, and will typically highlight those sorts of
Yep.
reviews
So we
on
have
your
to
Google.
recognize those moments. That's the
Yeah.
biggies. As business owners, we have to write down what are the common objections that or challenges our prospects will have. That's our number one mission with testimonials. Every quarter, you should pull up. I've got a worksheet I'm going to show in the after hours, but join us over there, guys. Community.carrot.com. We'll have the worksheet over there, but you can fill out this worksheet, and there's objections. You just go, okay, what are some customers that I actually know I solved that
Mm.
objection for?
Yep.
I'm going to reach out to them if it happened in the past. I'm going to talk with them. I'm going to say, hey, can I come over and shoot a quick video? Or is there, would you mind leaving a review on this topic over here? Or if they're busy, hey, would you mind if I just wrote up some of the words and sent it your way? And then you can just read it, adjust it, and give it approval. And then we'll put it on our
Mhm.
website. But write down those objections, write down the customers that you know you've solved that for, and then work your butt off to get those testimonials in your website, in your marketing, in your Facebook ads, everywhere, and or have them posted online.
Yeah. That's good stuff, man.
Cool.
Um, Sweet. All right. So where do we put the reviews? Okay. So number one, we already mentioned it, but Google reviews.
Mhm.
In my opinion, and as far as trying to rank Google reviews, they go on your
Yep.
Google business profile. So we already covered that. Really easy to get the link. Have them start there, or a video and a Google review. Next thing, well, this wasn't on my notes, but if you do get a video, put it into YouTube. I mean, we could go down a rabbit hole of of SEO, of YouTube SEO, but you're probably going to title it something like Brady Buys Houses a review,
Yep.
or Deborah so and so review of Brady
Mhm.
Buys Houses,
Yep.
something like that. Put a little
Yep.
bit in the description. But anyways, put it on YouTube, put it on your Carrot site, Google reviews, have them do a Facebook review as well. And then here's the specifics on the website. I'll kind of rattle them off. You could chime in, Trevor. You want the most specific and your best, juiciest testimonials on the homepage.
Mhm.
But the
Yep.
specific one, like below the hero section, towards the top of the website, add all your other ones to your reviews page.
Yep.
In my opinion, you can never have too many reviews. At Carrot, we
Mhm.
practice what we preach. And so we have a reviews page, and it's just covered in messy screenshots,
Yep.
all sorts of reviews. It's just a smattering.
Yep.
Some people look at it and think ugly, but we've tested it. It converts like
Yeah,
crazy.
screenshots of reviews perform really, really well,
Yeah.
and you just use them in the right spot, right? You
Yeah.
don't want to put a screenshot probably right underneath your hero section, but it could be down the page a bunch of screenshots.
Yeah.
It just is believable because it's like, oh, they couldn't have made that up. It's just it's a screenshot.
Yeah, we'll show some examples on the
Yep.
coaching call in a minute here. But add the specific links to your homepage, others to your review page, and then Trevor, you were mentioning ideally a minimum of
Mhm.
3 on every page, and then credibility sandwich. What is that?
Yep. Yeah. So three on every action page. So in any page that you're trying to drive someone to action. So your home page, all your location pages, or any landing page that you're using for paid traffic. This is industry agnostic. I don't care what industry it is. Home services, contractor, real estate investor, agent. A minimum 3 reviews. Each one of those reviews should tackle a different objection. Okay, your top 3 objections, they should tackle that objection. Put your top objection towards the top of the page and really focus on it. I want to have a review right underneath the hero section somewhere. Okay, the hero section is the top of the website with your copy and the call to action, the form. Somewhere below that, within iShot, ideally should be a review or some sort of social proof. But then down the page where you have, let's say, another big call to action, it's a form or something. You have a bunch of content now. It's a call to action with a form. I've found that when you sandwich your calls to action with social proof, you actually get a boost in conversion, because anywhere where someone is actually taking a next step to convert or become a lead or a prospect, we want to reinforce that decision right there at the point of decision with some sort of proof. And oftentimes reviews are among the best types of proof you can put there. So
Yeah.
just think about that. Where are they actually making a decision? And is there social proof to reinforce that decision within iShot?
Yeah.
But yeah, I like you're saying, Brady. Every page it's an action page, minimum 3, but you could have 32 reviews on the homepage if you wanted to, as long as they're purposeful,
Yeah.
right? And you'd mix up the format of them so 32 doesn't
Mhm.
look overwhelming, but it looks good. And we'll show some examples in the after hours in the coaching call here.
Yeah.
But
Sweet. One last question, then we'll wrap it up. Jump into Q&A for those of you that are with us live. How many do I need? So I'll answer this specifically for Google Business Profiles, Google My Business. We've seen around 30 have basically the best value or the most impact. Past around 30, it tends to be diminishing returns, but that's where we've seen the most gains. About 30 reviews or more.
mhm.
But obviously, you're not gonna stop, because if you see someone with 15 reviews and then 30 reviews or 50 reviews, and then
Yeah,
we just ran across a member before when we were prepping for the podcast, like 127 reviews. I'm
yeah.
like, dang,
Yeah, rapid fire home
you
buyers.
know,
They're in our Epic group. They've
yeah,
got almost 200, and they gained 30 reviews in 6 weeks after executing my customer review machine from that program. We're gonna
yeah,
in the coaching call, I'm gonna show you some part of that customer review machine.
yeah.
6 weeks, they added 30 reviews just doing this customer review
It's crazy.
machine. It's
Those are
crazy.
the things that make it to where people see that number of views, and it's just decision made on the spot. Like, I'm going to
Yep,
work with them. It's just the ultimate credibility when you
exactly.
execute it that well.
Heck yeah.
But yeah, that's about how many you need, and then we talked about how many you need on different pages. But yeah, let's wrap it up. We're gonna wrap the podcast portion of this. So if you're listening, again, join us in the Facebook group live every single week. Go to community.carrot.com. I'll take you to the Facebook group. It's free, full of value. Our team's in there. Lots of other members are in there. We're having some really good
Yeah.
conversations. So join us there. And
And y'all
yeah,
subscribe, right? If, if
yeah,
if you're listening to this for your first time, hit that subscribe button on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. And then our sister podcast, if you're going through growth challenges in your business, and you're like, man, this is getting hard, as not from the entrepreneur perspective, check out our new podcast this year, Entrepreneur Freedom Formula. It's in the Carrot Podcast Network. You'll find it there next to this Evergreen Marketing Show podcast. And check it out. If you want to learn how to grow through the entrepreneur side of things, Entrepreneur Freedom Formula is where we come at you once a week and help you go through those pain lines.
yeah. It's the bright blue one with Trevor's beautiful face on it. It's a fantastic podcast. If you are a follower of Truck Talks, this is the new and improved version of Truck Talks. So check
Yep.
it out. It's good stuff. All right, everyone. We'll see you next week. All right, all right. Any questions? Pop them through in the chat. Rosangela had a good question. So we'll share some examples. I'll take the first question, and then we'll go over some examples. Trevor can do a little screen share.
Let's do it.
Rosangela with 123 Sold Cash said about how about reviews and Better Business Bureau? Is it worth to invest the time there? The short answer is yes. A lot of us, myself and Trevor included, think the Better Business Bureau is a little bit of a scam. I think most people can see that.
It's a legalized extortion outfit is what it is.
It's freaking wild.
But the
Yeah.
the demographics, yeah. So the answer I'll give here is you need to look at your demographic and you need to ask what review source does that demographic trust. Okay, so if you're working with, let's say, 50 plus year old demographic, in general, they really trust the BBB. Okay. Now Brady, who's not 50 plus, probably could give a crap about the BBB.
Yeah.
Right. We tend to trust Google reviews more. And then depending on the thing we're trying to look at, we'll trust whatever that platform of choice is. So if it's food, it might be Yelp or Google reviews. If
Yeah, I was
it's
just about to say Yelp. Yeah.
yeah. But in our industry, BBB is something that sellers specifically sometimes state by name. And it's something that when you Google search your company name, that's one test is Google search your company name plus reviews, see what actually pops up in that search. And I'll even share my screen here. Let's see.
Go for it.
Yeah, I'm going to share my computer screen. Whatever pops up in that search is what I would want to drive reviews on. Okay, so if I go to, Simply Sold reviews, and there's probably multiple companies called Simply Sold. I mean, there definitely are. There's the one in Louisville, there's the one in Florida. I think there's one in Atlanta. I'm going to see what pops up here. So you see the very first thing that pops up is BBB. I'm going to go, okay, if Google's showing BBB up high, I'm going to want to get reviews there because it's already a part of my online credibility conversation. Yep. Was that helpful, Rosangela? Hopefully it was.
Yeah, I think so. I think that about answers it. Yep. There's another question we got from Tony Stewart. Tony, keep the off-topic questions coming. We're not offended, and it's always good conversation.
That's what the coaching call's for. So we're coming at you guys with a slightly different format. And what we've done recently is for this season, we're bringing those weekly coaching calls into this call. So there's one place for y'all to come each week at 11 o'clock Pacific time, catch for the bite-sized, knowledge in the first 20 minutes of the episode with the podcast that goes in YouTube and it goes into our podcast for quick listening. And then the rest right here is the coaching call. So bring it. This is exactly where you bring those calls off topic.
So Tony says, my old motivated sellers website, albeit SEO inferior, is older. So what he's getting at is it has more domain authority, maybe, or at least some SEO juice behind it. It has some history behind it, which is good for SEO. He said it's older, it's inferior, but it would seem that the better move than forwarding the old domain to the new one is to change all of the navigation to my newer carrot site and let it function as a ghost unprompted site that gives me link juice. What are your thoughts on this? He says, by the way, 11 3-lead per day training.
Awesome, man. Tony, if you can, if you're still on, link up that URL because I'd like to show a couple things and look at it. So link that up so we know what the URL is. And we'll pull it up on the screen. But the high level guidance is assuming that site isn't ranking anywhere, assuming that site like you said, has been online for a while and it's just really, there's no real value to it. I would 100% just take that URL and forward it over to my primary site or your carrot site in this example.
Yeah.
Just forward it over if you have no plans to use it. Okay. Now, especially if you do have some sort of domain authority to it where you built some backlinks over the years and it has that age, some of that domain authority will pass through. Not all of it, but it could be a good thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, let's say if you instead have that site and it's got a bunch of backlinks to it and it is, let's say, on page 2 of Google, and you could switch that over to Carrot as well and add on another site on top of it, you might be able to have 2 sites then that are separate going after the same market because that one already has an SEO juice boost with backlinks to it. So there really is, there's the simple way, forward it right over. Some of what you built will pass over, or oh my gosh, if this site was just better, faster, had better content, was better optimized, I think you could get on page 1 pretty easily. I might just launch a site on it for 6 months and see what happens.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario, if it doesn't pop and start to rank well, and now you've got two going good, then you just forward it at that point.
Yeah. Sweet.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good question, Tony, because I know we have a lot of people in the group that
Hmm.
come over from WordPress, or they still have a website on WordPress, and they're probably here because they're don't want to manage the WordPress site anymore, or they want a website that converts higher, easier
Yeah.
to manage. But yeah, good question.
Yep. And what I would do, Tony, is pop over here to the Keyword Explorer. So go inside of your Carrot account, open up that Keyword Explorer, and you can just put that URL into that spot right there. Okay. And it'll tell you if it's popping some sort of rankings anywhere. And if you've got some really good keywords like we were talking about where it's on page 2 or maybe even page 3, that's where I might go, okay, I might just launch a site in this for 6 months and see. But use the Keyword Explorer tool. That'll be helpful for you. That's in the Carrot SEO Tools add-on suite.
Hmm.
And if you guys have not seen this, now I'm going to go off script, Tony. So I'm going to go off script here. If you guys have not seen the new enhancements we've made to the SEO keyword tool or the SEO tool suite, we made some massive enhancements this last
Yeah.
couple weeks. Okay, so now when you come in here, every member at Carrot is now going to have new functionality that you didn't have a couple weeks ago. Every member, no matter if you have the SEO tool suite or not. Okay, every member is going to get this new feature that is the search performance feature. Okay, this is where you can integrate. It'll take you a minute. This is where you can integrate in your Google Search Console account, and it's going to bring in the data from Google Search Console. So now you don't have to bounce between the two platforms. We're bringing in the most important stuff. Now,
Hmm.
if you're an advanced SEO person and you want some of the more advanced queries and data, yes, you can still go to Google Search Console, right? It's the same philosophy that we have with Google Analytics. If you want all the crazy fancy stuff and slice and dice all your reports, put your Google Analytics code on your Carrot site, and you can always go there for the advanced stuff, right? The crazy advanced stuff.
Hmm.
But you come into Carrot for your daily, weekly, maybe even quarterly analytics. We bake it in here. The same thing with the SEO side and Search Console. This is where you're going to be looking weekly, monthly, and then on any quarterly deep dives. If you're just an advanced person, then you can go to Google Search Console. But this is crazy cool stuff in here. Okay, because you can see what keywords, not only what keywords are you ranking for, but the data gap that there was before now is now we can actually tell you what keywords are actually bringing traffic to your site. What keywords did people actually type in and then clicked on your listing in Google and made it to your website?
Yeah.
That was before not possible without having to use Google Search Console by itself.
Yeah.
So now that's all inside of here. I can see that this site had 1,400 impressions, meaning it showed up in 1,400 searches during this period of time. It had 11 people click it. It was an average of 2.2 position. And so I know that not only am I ranking for these, but I'm actually getting traffic from these too, which is
Hmm.
pretty cool.
That's awesome.
The other thing that we added is the domain overview. So you can see this site, you can see your trends. I see my trend going up with Google search rankings. I see my traffic trends. I can start to see some of my basic backlink reporting in here. This is something that's now available to everybody as well across the entire Carrot user base, which is really exciting. We're just adding value, stacking value for you. And for those who have the SEO tool add-on now, that's where you can dive into the details, right? You can dive into the details on your backlinks. You can dive into figure out what backlinks are coming. You can check up on your SEO provider to see if they're doing good. If the backlinks that are being backlinked to you are weird and just not good ones, you can check your rankings. We've expanded your keyword rankings, right? So
Yep.
now it's not 20, now it's a lot more.
Yep.
It's over 100. So you can track over 100 keywords now inside of your account, which is really, really exciting. And we have so many other cool features in here that help you avoid paying 80, 90, 100 bucks a month for other SEO tools. We're trying to bring all the core features you'll need to grow your rankings inside of Carrot. And we're going to be hitting some amazing, amazing features coming out over the
Yep.
coming 6 months too.
Yeah, we still got plans to improve on these and add more things. I know one of the
Mhm.
things we're considering on the team right now is adding a way to look at competitors' backlinks.
Yep.
'Cause I know a couple people have mentioned that. If you're watching this and that would be of value to you, leave a comment because I know the team is looking to connect with some members that would find value in being able to see competitors' backlinks. So
Yeah. Yep.
leave a comment that says that's me, and we'll connect the team with you. We
Heck
appreciate
yeah.
that.
Love it.
Let's do this. Let's share a couple examples
Yeah.
of visual testimonials. Pull up a couple real quick.
Hmm.
Bum,
I've got
bum.
mine here ready if you want
You
me
wanna go for it?
to go.
Send it.
Perfect. Cool. So this one here, longtime member Dave Brown. So Dave's up in New York, multiple carrot camper, just amazing dude. And Dave has been really focusing on SEO and Evergreen Marketing as his primary for years. I'm talking like he went from offline marketing to he switched over to SEO and Evergreen Marketing. I think probably 6 years ago, exclusively, pretty
Mhm.
much. So this drives his engine. Now he's dove in and done a bunch of good customizations. So his site looks pretty darn good. It looks slick. It brings in, you can see up here some reviews.
Dude, I'll just throw in a cool side
Yeah.
note. We talk a lot about freedom and flexibility, and I think Dave is a really good example of
Mm,
a creative way you can do this. So Dave got so good at SEO and generating leads through his Carrot website.
yep.
At one point, he decided to lease it out.
Mm,
And so
yep.
it allowed him to step back from the business and
Yeah.
generate pretty much, it's hard to find actual passive income, but pretty
Yeah.
dang passive income with a website that was just generating leads
Yep.
and then step back into it when you want.
Heck yeah.
So that's
Heck
really cool.
yeah. No, Dave is an amazing story. And so what we're going to see is we're going to see some of the things that we talk about in action, but I'm also going to give some coaching here. Every example that I've seen, they're doing it good, but I'm like, they're a 8 out of 10. Here's what would make it a 10 out of 10 kind of a thing. Okay. But even so, a 6 out of 10 is going to convert pretty darn good because the 6 out of 10 versus what everyone else's is really, really good. Everyone else, I think, is a 1 to 2 to 3, maybe. Okay. So right here, call to action, pretty close to within eye shot. I've got a really small computer screen here, and so it's right there. I've got the clickable Google rating and reviews. Okay, number 2, he's going to dive into the content now, and we're developing right now easier ways to customize the blocks and patterns within your site. So be on the lookout for that. It's very exciting work we're doing. But he then displayed reviews and testimonials on here, and I really like it, right? He's bringing in his reviews from his different sources. So these are from Google, as you can see right there. But he's got reviews coming from other sources as well. Now, he used an external tool called Elf Site. And right now, we don't have an internal review tool, but that's something I'd be curious to see. Is that something that y'all would find value in? Would you see an internal review tool where we suck in the reviews from your external sources?
Is
Oh,
there,
yeah, I'm
what happened?
gonna.
We're lost.
Ah,
Houston.
there we go. We're
Okay.
back.
That was weird.
It's my 13 windows that are open, probably.
It couldn't be.
The computers in here, man, are humming. Like I think maybe it's that one up there.
Braden's is about to take off.
Yeah,
Sounds
that
like
one
an
is humming over
F-15.
there. We'll get this done in time before that one explodes. But right here, this system, you can for free get this app for up to 200 views per month. Now it does have their branding on it, which I don't really always love that, but it doesn't matter. Like your visitor doesn't care about that. But that's the way that they keep the cost low, similar to the way that we do it. So you can get that for free. And then as you get a lot more traffic and you want to remove their branding, it's $10 a month. And that's what Dave uses for this. So he was able to put that script on the page. It brings those in, does a good job. Now let's scroll down. He has another review here. He doesn't have another review here. It looks like he has just a picture of saying he has 5-star Facebook reviews. And then what I would do differently now. So where Dave did really good. Right here towards the top, bam, put some reviews, put some experience, love it. Has some pictures there, has a big old fat video there that looks amazing, and it's him speaking to camera, so builds trust. Picture of Dave, a little signature, builds trust. And then it's got a bunch of testimonials that people can click on and go see him. That's great. But what I want to see you do, especially on mobile,
It went away again.
is on went away again.
Your screen share went away again.
Okay.
That's weird.
I'll just do a really good job of just telling story here. There we go. We're back. But on mobile, when someone scrolls to the bottom of this page on mobile, we need to give credibility and trust around this call to action. Okay, especially on desktop and mobile. So I would put a review up here and pick one of your primary objections, and I'm going to sandwich this CTA in another review, the second objection. Okay, so I'm going to be like, hey, Dave was extremely quick, and he made us an offer that was exactly what we were looking for. Amazing person to work with. That eliminates the price objection. Down here, it's I was skeptical after another investor or agent couldn't buy my house or couldn't sell my house. Dave gave me confidence and he closed on time. I'm going to sandwich it. That's going to improve your performance. Okay, let's look at another one. So this one's Keith Sant, amazing, person in our community, our ecosystems, crushed it for himself and so many of our other members as well through their agency. So right out of the gates, what I would improve here is they do have the BBB logo, which I love. We did find that in our data, it was like 80 something percent of the websites that had the highest conversion on SEO organic had the BBB logo or a similar credibility logo up
Mm.
in their hero section. Over 80% of the highest converting ones through organic during this period of time had a BBB or similar logo. Okay. So, what that tells me is that first impression matters. When people land on the website, we want to give them that proof, that trust, that credibility. I would double down on this BBB logo. I'd put a credibility bar right there with a killer testimonial that eliminates the first objection. Okay, it could be on price, it could be on reliability, it could be on trust, it could be on speed, it could be on process. Okay, I'd put something in there. Hey, working with Keith was amazing. They gave me an offer the day that I asked for it. It was above what I thought I was going to get. And man, not only did it close on time, but he was just a great dude to work with.
Yeah.
Right. Or I tried to sell it through an agent, or I tried to sell it through this person and it fell through, or they tried to negotiate my price back down. Keith showed up, was trustworthy from day one, made an offer that was fair and actually did the job.
Yeah.
Right. Something like that. That's just going to be killer.
Hyper specific testimonials.
Very
Is
specific.
not afraid. Keith and some of the people that do testimonials really well are not afraid to ask multiple
Mhm.
questions, not camera shy, and they're just treating it almost like a mini interview.
Yep.
Just going over those questions we talked about earlier.
Exactly. So then as you scroll down the page from the hero, then he has a couple bars there that bring more trust and credibility, and it links up or it shows, hey, we also have reviews in these areas, and it brings another review in. So now let's talk about how we can improve this. Okay. So when we talked about the data before, the data shows that there is a good, better, best when it comes to testimonials. Okay. A good is it's kind of like what we're showing here. Okay, what's on the screen right now? If you can scroll down to this part here. So we're working with it, guys. For some reason, my computer is not showing what. There we go. So if we look at this one here, it's probably not for some reason. It's like 8,000 windows. Are you running that, or is it me?
I'm sharing Keith's site right now.
Okay, good. I want to make sure I wasn't going crazy. Good. So right here, this is good that it's got it in there, but we want to increase the believability of these testimonials because they're real and people are skeptical. So I'm going to add as much information as possible about that person. Okay, now if that person is willing to give their last name, great, but oftentimes they don't want to give their last name and show that they were foreclosed on, right? So maybe it's Amy M. Amazing. I'm going to put dash their location. Okay, so if I do business in Tacoma, I'm going to put Amy M dash Tacoma home seller. Okay, and I could even put Oak Street Tacoma home seller or something like that, or Amy M sold her Oak Street house in Tacoma.
Yep.
Okay, something more specific. All right. Number two is if I have a picture of Amy M, I'm going to put a picture of Amy M there because the data shows that when it's a testimonial with a picture or with a video, that increases performance over just a testimonial.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going for best here. This is good. Better is expand Amy's name, and then another thing for better is people are scrollers and they're click happy. When someone's on a page, they're looking for something to stop the scroll. If they don't have something that helps them stop the scroll, like these faces, then they won't stop. They'll keep on scrolling until they see something that stops the scroll. This testimonial is not a scroll stopper. Okay, the thing above it is a scroll stopper. This testimonial is not. What would make this testimonial a scroll stopper is a face of Amy with a caption below it, or a headline above it. Okay, so we want to pull the headlines out of these and pull the most compelling part of that testimonial out. And I'm going to ask the question like, what's the objection, the biggest thing that I help them overcome with this? They gave me the highest cash offer and we're not pushy at all. I'm going to pull that out of it. Okay, this says I talked to a few different local companies that buy houses in Tacoma, choosing to sell. I chose to sell to kind house buyers. They gave me the highest cash offer. They weren't pushy, and I also didn't have to clean a thing. I took what I wanted and left the rest. The sales. So I'm going to pick one of those. There's a few amazing objections in there. Okay, I want to sell it as is. I don't want to take things. Other local companies they didn't do it well. It was fast. I would use them again, right? But then it was the highest offer. And I'm going to go, which one major objection am I going to pull out of this to highlight?
Yeah.
For me, I'm probably going to go, they gave me the highest offer on my house and we're not pushy, ... in quotes.
Yeah.
I'll just pull that up to the top. That's going to stop a scroll.
Yeah.
All right. So if we go down, let's scroll down the page even more. So you see he did pull out that one. I highly recommend this company if you want to sell without the hassle of using a realtor. Okay. That's highlighting the objection. I don't want to use a realtor, or I tried a realtor. Okay, great. Bam, that brings that in. Let's scroll down and see some more. I would put the headline here in the face of Yvonne dash, Market Street, whatever, Birmingham home seller. Okay, their name says it all. They're kind house buyers. We inherited a mess in Tacoma, Washington. If inherited homes are your number one type of deal source and you want to bring in more inherited homes to show you're an expert in it, maybe I'll pull that up into a headline. Okay, a house was in disrepair, couldn't imagine what to do with it, offered more than fair price, handled all the paperwork. Amazing. If I already highlighted the fair price one above, I'm not going to bring that up as the headline here now. I'm going to say house was in disrepair, Keith offered fair price, handled all the paperwork, or something like that.
Yep.
Disrepair, that's not enough for me. It was in disrepair, but man, they nailed it for me.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you can scroll down. You guys see where I'm going with this, right? So they have amazing content on the page. Now they're bringing in a different format. So they have a video format, text format, and screenshot format. If you can mix up the formats, that's amazing. And then we're going to go down even more. And if there's a call to action at the bottom, I'm going to sandwich this thing. I'm going to put a testimony there, or proof points there, and it's going to help with the overall performance.
That's good.
Yep.
That's good, man.
Let's just stop there for those, because we could keep on going with a bunch of examples, but those ones represent good, better, best pretty darn well.
Yeah. Hopefully that helps, Rosangela. I want to do two things real quick, and then we can wrap it up. One, we get a question from David, and then Rosangela was talking about her reviews page doesn't really look too friendly right now, not formatted super well. I was just looking at that.
Yeah.
And we'll screen share that and give you some recommendations, Rosangela.
Mm-hmm.
David's question was, we get this question a lot. He said, what is a usual breakthrough turning point for a carrot site to start gaining traction?
Mm-hmm.
For example, is it linking to Google Business or the first Google review, perhaps number of backlinks? So basically, when does it start paying off? So I'll say this, we have a ton of carrot members who, get the website up, localize it, personalize it, and just send all their offline marketing there. So it'd be a mistake to think that if you're not doing SEO, then you shouldn't be on Carrot.
Mm-hmm.
It converts. It's proven to convert. It's super easy to manage. Just send all your marketing to there. So for a lot of people, the value is just, hey, I launched the site. It's there. It's ready to go. But yes,
it's going to make all of your offline marketing work better.
Yeah, I do. I do commonly see people forget to link their website to their Google Business profile. So definitely do that, David. And then, so as far as SEO results, I mean, generally 6 to 12 months, but there's so many variables. It depends on what keywords you're going after. But it takes Google anywhere from 3, 6, 12 months or more to start ranking for some of the more competitive terms.
Yeah. And that's where it's so important in our training. I want people to recognize, I've been talking with the internal team a lot on this, is evergreen marketing is a philosophy. It is a strategy. But the evergreen part of it, like that is the long-term vision, right? That's the long-term vision. That's for building the stability, the foundation, that consistency that we want in our business. We never say evergreen marketing gives you the biggest volume. You can get the biggest volume from cold calling and direct mail and all that stuff in those big markets. But what evergreen marketing does, and the freedom it gives us, is it sets an amazing foundation of consistency of the best deals, the best, highest converting leads, the highest margin deals. Okay. And then from that, we can stack on any of those other marketing tools like Google pay-per-click or Facebook ads, or like Brady said, the very first thing that we start with and get immediate results with is if we're already doing offline marketing. Carter Steff is an example that I love. He's out of Oklahoma City, 1-800-2-SELL homes. He moved over from a really, really fancy custom website. Okay, the website cost him $10,000. It looked good. It looked pretty. And he did all offline marketing. He didn't do any SEO, no PPC. It was radio, TV, and I think direct mail. And they're the biggest home buyer in Oklahoma City. So they moved over to Carrot a number of years ago, and they've redesigned their site several times since on the Carrot platform. But when they moved over, they saw such a dramatic increase in their conversion rate on the traffic that they were already getting organically from just their company name that was generated by offline. They added over $20,000 a month in new revenue just by amplifying their offline marketing. Okay, so that's step one. Step two then is building that evergreen foundation for the long term. Like Brady said, knowing that it could take between 90 days and 12 months, depending on your market and how good you're executing, to get traction. Okay. Number three, though, is we want to amplify and speed up the results where necessary. And that's where, if I'm going into a market or we're working with people, we're going to suggest, if you have a budget, that there's ways you can get leads now. Okay, Google pay-per-click is usually my favorite one to start in a market, and we have trainings on that, and we have resources to help you there, and landing page builder, and our campaign tracking link, and other things that help you there. And then there's other ways too. You can go hustle for leads through driving for dollars and things like that. One thing that I'll share, then I'll give you a direct answer, Tony. One thing that I'll share is in Google's leaked their big document leak, they have shown that brand search is an important part of their consideration of rankings. That they want to see that people are going to Google searching for a company. Now, is brand search required to rank well? No. It's just one of the many things that they look at. But if you do offline marketing, or if you want to start offline marketing, that does help with the overall equation. Okay. So I'm going to share my screen. Let's see if it works this time. Hopefully it does. Because I'm just going to go back to data. I'm going to go back to data, Tony. Okay. So I'm pulling up a report here. This is for a site, and this is what we would normally see. It's pretty common. Okay. This is one that crushes it. They do, a lot of revenue with this site today. And this right here is around when this person decided to do work. They actually joined Carrot back here. Okay, they joined Carrot back in 2018. Now, they didn't do anything with it. They launched it live. They let it sit there because they were all offline marketing at that time. This person was. They decided to do something about it around here, okay, mid-summer, early fall of 2019. And what I usually say is there's the 2-6-1 formula, okay? You work your butt off for 2 months building out the things, right? You build out the location pages, you get your citations, you get your Google My Business profile, you do the optimization on the pages following our 3 lead per day platform, 3 lead per day system. And then usually we'll see that first kind of jump within about 6 months. And that jump might take you from page 2 or 3 to the middle of page 1 or the bottom of page 1, depending on how competitive your market is and how good your effort is. So you can see they started the work around August 2019. And we can see right here is when we started to see the jump. Okay, this is right around the 6 to 7 month mark. You see that? They actually started to see the jump right there, almost exactly around the 5 to 6 month mark. You see that trend? It went slow, 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 and then it bumped. That's what I call the ranking sprout. The ranking sprout usually happens around 4 to 6 months. I can show you 20 more sites that are going to show the same pattern. Okay.
Yeah.
Now you can accelerate it with driving a bunch of low quality backlinks. You can accelerate and have the ranking sprout in 90 days. But the challenge is you're going to have to fight bad backlinks later then. And I'm always in it for the long term. Okay, so I don't suggest going and buying 1,000 or 2,000 backlinks, but it does work to accelerate the process. But once again, then you've got to really kick into building real good backlinks later that stay, because a lot of those crappy ones might fall off in 6 or 8 months or 12 months. So you might actually see a decrease in your ranking in 18 months if you don't then build really good ones on the back of that. Okay, so usually if you're building backlinks at a good pace, a natural pace, 4 to 6 months, and then you keep it going, and then we end up seeing about a year later, the 12, so 2-6-1, work your butt off for 2 months. You'll see a ranking sprout in 4 to 6 months, and then a year in, 12 months in, 1 year in, you should then start to get real consistency. Okay, so you can see here, I'm going to go back on this again, Tony. They really started the work in August or September 2019. Ranking sprout about 4 to 6 months in. Real growth and consistency about a year in. Okay, you can see now they're at this different level. Now, with this particular site, you're going to see some ups and downs. A big algorithm change happened around this time that they weren't ready for, and they weren't doing some of the right content. Okay, they got back on their feet. Look at this, December 2020, they adjusted some of the things. What do we see again? We see somewhere around 4 to 6 months. a same pattern of getting back on track with things, then it sprouted again. Okay. Now, once again, you see a drop on their organic, they changed their strategy and a couple other things changed, but now they're back on a good upswing here. Okay. So 4 to 6 months, ranking sprout, 1 year, get consistency. You can accelerate all of that with driving aggressive backlinks. It is a strategy you can do. It's not one that I feel is the best long-term strategy, but can accelerate it.
That's good.
Yep.
I'll answer this quick question from David, and then let's pull up Los Angeles page.
Mhm.
David said, "Is there a script like that plugin for Google reviews to link up YouTube video reviews?"
Mm.
I was doing some Googling for you. I don't see a script. You want to be careful with scripts because sometimes adding scripts can slow down the website to some
Yeah.
extent. So just be mindful of that. Be careful with how many you add, and make sure to see how it affects the site overall.
Mhm.
Do some speed tests afterwards. I don't see one, but I know that if you go into YouTube, you can embed a playlist. So YouTube
Yep.
will give you the embed for a playlist. That's only going to show one video, but honestly, what I would recommend just doing is doing a few, do 3 or 4 columns and basically have your videos in a grid and lay them out.
Yeah.
Um, you know,
Yep.
basically the same as like doing a carousel like that plugin would, but it's really easy to take that URL, plug it into Carrot. You just select the YouTube block within Carrot, plug in a YouTube video, and then that's it.
Yeah,
But
I echo what Brady said big time, guys. I'm not going to worry about a YouTube reviews from a Anyway, so what Brady said there with that script, the biggest thing I'm going to look at though is I'm going to make sure I have a playlist
yes,
that's literally named my company name plus reviews. So rapid fire home buyers reviews. And then the key I want to double down on that Brady said, because this is really important. Let's share my screen again. Let's cross my fingers this works. Yep, that's good. So this is one of our big clients. They do 20 to 30 deals a month across the South. And so rapid fire home buyers is their name. And if I were to look at this right here, so what do I see? This says this home seller highly recommends rapid fire home buyers. So I had actually typed rapid fire home buyers reviews YouTube to even see that. So if I go to rapid fire home buyer reviews, you see the Carrot site crushing it. You see their BBB. They've got a ton of reviews all over the place. What I don't see is any YouTube videos popping here. Okay. So one way that you can help make that better is you name the playlist it, but then right here, I'm going to probably put literally rapid fire home buyers, reviews, Lexington, Kentucky, home seller inherited a house in probate,
yeah,
or something, or something like that. Or I could even switch it around. I could say Nancy, how Nancy from Lexington, Kentucky sold her house in foreclosure, rapid fire home buyers reviews. So make sure that those keywords are in it and really tell the situation in that title.
yeah. If those keywords are in it, Google's going to catch on and prioritize them.
Yep.
It'll still take time, just like we are talking about with a website to rank. But if you Google carrot.com reviews, there's 2 search results and then 4 videos, because Google knows like that's what people are looking for.
Exactly. So right here, this is a good example. It says seller testimonials, guys. Change that to rapid fire home buyers reviews.
Yep.
The title of that playlist.
Yep.
And you'll start to see a higher chance of those videos potentially ranking in Google itself.
Yeah. YouTube. I'm thinking about doing a series. I was just brainstorming this yesterday. I'm like, maybe we should do a little series on like YouTube SEO or YouTube best practices.
That'd be fun.
In the next month or 2. Let me know if that's of interest to you. Leave me a comment.
That'd be fun.
Toying with that idea. Let's look at Los Angeles site real quick, and then let's wrap this bad boy up. Get some lunch.
Let's do it.
You want to pull it up? I got it.
Yep, you take it, man.
All right. Let's see here.
And guys, while Brady's pulling that up, pop in some feedback on this, whether you're watching this live or recorded, or you're watching this on YouTube. Do you guys like this style? Are you guys getting value out of us diving in and answering these questions? If so, let us know, because that encourages us to keep going with this, and also lock this into your calendar. So that's something really important. We're here every week on Thursday at 11 o'clock Pacific time. Use this as your plug-in to the experts. Okay, whether it's Brady on here, or me on here, or Mallory from our team, or other customers or other team members, this is your chance to plug into the experts at Carrot to be able to accelerate your path and gain the confidence. So lock it into the calendar and give us feedback. What do you like, and what do you like about it, and what can we do to make it better? All right, back to you.
Sweet. So we got Los Angeles page pulled up right here. I think just my first initial thoughts when I pull up this page is a lot of text. It's very text heavy. It's a little bit too much to read. I would shorten up this heading right here,
Mhm.
Rosangela. Um, I would make this just like a body text, if you need it. Maybe simplify this overall, shorten it up, and make the text smaller. I would take out this leave us a review on Google text, and then I would make this button bigger, but I would actually probably make it a like a Google reviews image.
Mm.
So maybe you have text above it where it says leave us a review on Google, and then there's that image,
Yeah.
and have both of those link out to your Google business profile like you're doing. So linking out to it is great. Like you've got the right train of thought with a call to action, but it's just very text heavy. Just need to simplify and bring focus to the one thing that you want them to do, which in
Mhm.
this case is that button. When we scroll down, let's see, 1, 2, 3 sold cash reviews. Since now, I'm trying to digest what's going on the page. I
Okay.
think we have multiple reviews.
Yeah, so it almost looks like there might be a couple things going on here. So I'm not sure if you guys are using the actual testimonial widget inside of our platform or not.
These are down here.
Those are
These ones are the
there.
widget,
Okay.
but
Okay.
these ones up here looks like one body of text.
Yeah, it's just kind of copied in there. Yeah, what we can do is this would be actually fun. I'm just thinking out loud. I'm going like it'd be fun to reformat that
Yeah.
with and for her, partially for learning on our end
Yeah.
to go, hey, let's look at some ways that we can reformat this to help with our content and adjustment. I'm just thinking out loud though, because it's
Yeah.
definitely going to take a little bit of work. We can send through some of those examples that we shared, like the kind house buyers or sellnowhomebuyers.com to check out their reviews page as a good guide, I think.
Yeah, I think the simple version is this body of text is too much to absorb.
Yeah.
No one's going to be reading through all of this, and I think we're essentially you've got your copy or your text mixed in with the testimonials. You need to differentiate them. Honestly, I'd have maybe one or two short paragraphs about reviews for 1, 2, 3 sold cash. I
Hmm.
think Google's probably going to see this maybe as keyword stuffing. It looks like there's a lot of mention of a 1, 2, 3 sold cash too many times. Probably a little bit too much density there. So have your paragraph or two for SEO purposes. But if it's too long, people aren't going to realize what's underneath. So shorten that
Yeah.
up and then bring these testimonial widgets up top. And then you can add in, I would add in all the images and videos that you have. And you could do that in the testimonial widget. So you can bring
Yep.
in uh, an image into that testimonial block. And I would bring these further up on the page and maybe lay them out in a grid. So it's like 3 wide, like two or three testimonials next to each other, and then kind of goes down the page. I think that would definitely make it easier to digest. Yeah. Yeah,
Cool.
so there's a couple quick improvements you can make to that page. Feel free to hit up our team if we want to go a little bit more in depth. But those few things would really clean that up page, make it easy to digest. You're probably ranking right now, but yeah, you just want to highlight those really powerful testimonials.
Especially on mobile. So doubling down on what Brady had mentioned, I always want to design from a mobile first perspective, because when we look at things, on the desktop, it is going to look quite different on a mobile phone.
Yeah,
And so if you can make it clear, crisp, clean on a mobile phone, where if I can capture that whole testimonial or review in that screen on my cell phone, it's probably going to look good on desktop as well. And those giant blocks of text are a nightmare on a cell phone, either a nightmare on a desktop as well.
yeah,
But yeah, try it out, Rosangela. And we would definitely love for you to send that back our way maybe next week. Come back next week in next week's coaching call. Let us know what you did to it. Show it to us. We can look at it. And this would actually be fun to then maybe even dive in for 10 minutes on next week's coaching call to go, hey, let's kind of then make any final tweaks with you
yeah,
and show you how you can use the pattern builder and things like that to make it even better.
yeah. Sweet.
Cool.
And yeah, don't get discouraged, Rosangel. Like Braden said in the comments, like you guys are doing a lot more than most people. You have
Yep.
a variety of testimonials on there, and you guys have no problem getting this from people. You're both really good at it. It's
Mhm.
just a matter of formatting.
Yep.
But yeah,
Cool.
almost there.
Excellent.
Well, sweet, everybody. I know we went a little long today. Hopefully you guys got value out of this. I've had fun with this. Yeah, that's a wrap for today. The takeaway is just get the testimonials, make it a standard, repeatable thing, make it non-negotiable,
Yep.
and just make it easy for people. Get those specific testimonials. So if you want the script, go back, listen to it again, rewind, and just listen to what Trevor and I talked through. But it's not that hard. Get out there, get those testimonials so you can close more deals.
Heck yeah.
Thanks for tuning in, everyone. And we will see you next week. Mallory's going to be joining us. So it'll be me and Mallory next week. Yeah, talking about how to audit your site, find SEO issues on your website. It's going to be good stuff. But yeah, we'll see you next week at 11.
Cool. Thank you, guys. We'll talk soon.